Hope you enjoy, everyone. Thanks for watching. This is Sellavin review. My latest review on Mob Psycho on 100 episode 10 right now. We get to the mission like Dipper, Hanazawa, and Mob. They all break into Claw headquarters and go after the others, while the others, they try to make their escape, which is a pretty big deal. Which is a pretty big deal for them. It's pretty interesting when you see it. I like some of the quotes, like for example, Apple. I mean, we get to see this going on with, and this is Apple. Like Dimper, he went up against this guy named Maidzu, who has the ability to control spirits and use them as pets. Basically, using them like attack dogs to attack for him, but it seems he's not strong physically as an opponent. Physically, basically, he's not what you call the strongest. It's in with a raw muscle. So basically, he's using him as attack dogs. He has the ability to command hundreds of spirits, I think, and he wants to own Dippo as a pet. It's pretty interesting. Then you got Hanazawa. Hanazawa, he does his best. He has a guy has some, flunkies and stuff. Dippo said the same thing. Knocking them down with ease. Pretty interesting. But the guy here is Mayuzaki, and uses pyrokinesis, the ability to control fire with his mind. It's a pretty nice fight, but it ends a little bit quickly, Hanazawa using his own power against him, it's pretty interesting. It's obvious that guy was very cocky from the start, which is pretty good. I wish we got a little more progression, though. Pretty interesting thing. We also get to see some that they're not alone. Like, for example, there's this one guy who wears a halo on his head, and who has this purple cape. We know that one guy, forget his name. He got the ability to phase through walls. It just knocks him out. It's pretty interesting. And then that other guy with a sword. I think he has the ability to use the sword to extend his psycho powers. It's pretty interesting. And it kind of reminds me of other animes that use swords as weapons, but also enhance them using magic. You guys know the name, Tokyo Raven. But I got a whole bunch of others, but I'm not talking about that. We also get to see that there are other, Espers as they do their move. We get to see that Ritsu's group managed to, to outwit those some of the flunkies and stuff. I see how he outwits them, and it's pretty interesting how you see it. It's them, and how one of the flunkies, like a really drunk old guy who looks like he's middle aged, let them go, saying that these kids may think that they're in control, but they're not. Like they're up against something far greater. He said that there was a child who was a part of the call experimentation program, and that he's actually survived. And first aside, and he came out incredibly powerful. So they're dealing with. My guess is they're probably going to deal with an Esper that's so strong he makes that he's an artificial Esper, some kind of artificial Esper, because he wasn't born with raw talent. He just got this power through experimentation. Which means they're dealing with some kind of super Esper, which is something they've never seen before. Not a raw natural like mold, but someone artificially induced and experimented on, which is a pretty big deal. Now, overall, that's something you got to think about. I really like the progression, the way it goes. We get to see some more Espers. This is one Esper. Her name is Mukai. She has to use puppets abilities. She has to see and control the ability and see how they work. Overall, she has the ability to control dolls and wooden puppets. We have to get the Ritsu gets a fight. However, things are and we also get to see this one kid with red hair. Yeah, he seems to be one of the Claw higher ups, higher ups. We have no idea what he is, but he seems extraordinarily dangerous and fast. I see. His name is Sho. Like, he seems stronger than average. The fact that he took down Ritsu Mo's brother is pretty interesting, but looks like he didn't do it by himself. No, seeing his abilities, it's definitely very good and auspicious. The fact after he could make earthquake with his feet, that means he's very strong physically. Like the other psychics we've seen, he's really to use his psycho power to augment his strength, overall. But then you get this strong woman, and this woman who has the ability to use her physical strength. She's a lot like that Esper that Kageyama beat up 2 episodes back. The one with the physical strength, with physical strength, who's friends with Mitskai, her name is Tatsushi. Tatsushi, he's really really strong. Tatsushi, pretty strong, But then things get problematic. It seems really problematic. Seeing how it works, like She has Dean's like Mob, he fights here, but he doesn't want to fight her completely because she's, a woman, because his master taught him not to hit a woman. Seeing how big they were losers, overall, it's pretty interesting. But then she, but then she loses it when he calls her old lady. I mean, you're not supposed to call anybody old. It does crazy shit, You know, seeing how she loses it on Mo, Suchi, it's pretty interesting. But Mo, he goes forward, he plows his way through, he finds his brother eventually, but he's so beat up and stuff, because this episode has a lot of progression overall. Because Mo, he definitely finds his brother, but he's not in a good position right now. He's surrounded by enemies of all sides right now. And that one guy, that one big chin dude that got inside their heads, he goes into Mo's mind and stuff, and try to mess him up. At first the power backfires on him, and he sees stuff that he's not supposed to. But then but it does eventually work, because when Mo's experience gets to 100 and stuff, that's when his full power feels unleashed, and he awakens to his true nature, and his darkness does emerge. I think he got a taste of that darkness for a second, because he went inside Mo's head, which is something you should not do. It's pretty. Things get even more progressive as both Dimple, Bull, Hanazawa, and Mo have all been captured, and the organization looks like they're getting their big move, and we're going to see the organization's leader. Who it is? Well, if you guys haven't read, well, I've never read the manga, but if you guys have read the manga and stuff, don't spoil it for me. I was surprised as anyone to see it was that person. I'm not going to let you know who it is or why, but it's someone and you haven't, and it's a part of the series. I can't believe this happened. Anyway, but I'm not going to tell you anything else. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for the subscribe. Thank you. You're wondering why the room that I'm using is different from the one I'm using before. It's that I'm on vacation and I'm broadcasting you from a Plaza Hotel, down in Miami Beach. Overall, pretty cool, huh? Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for. Alright, thank you. I'll be in tune. I'll give you my latest video next time if I can. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. This is Sellavin. You on Mob Cycle 100, episode 10. I'm out. Bye.